Move to the Northwest province, and of course lots happening in that province. The ANC elective conference was held, but of course it was dogged by many legal challenges, and we know that of course there is a new chair of the ANC in the Northwest. That's Nono Maloyi. He beat out Bushy Mape, of course, who is the Premier. So what does this mean? Because we've got a 2-week hiatus and then things are going to kick off again. And I'm joined now from Rustenburg, eNCA reporter Pule Letshwiti-Jones. Pule, it's been quite a weekend. You must be shattered. I know you were up till the early hours of this morning. Talk to me about what the new provincial chairperson is saying now that they've elected their top 5 in the province.
Yeah, you know, Sally, I'm not even worried about fatigue anymore. In fact, we've been up since just about 6 a.m. The results came out at about just about 4:30. We had a media briefing at about 5:30, and there onwards we spoke to Nono Maloyi just about 6 a.m. So you can imagine the kind of work that's been put into this provincial elective conference here in the Northwest. But furthermore, we do understand that Nono Maloyi isn't someone who is new to the people in the province. In fact, he did serve as a deputy chairperson in the PEC in 2008, which was then led by former Premier Pule. So this is someone who is quite familiar with the people in the province. And what was also shocking is that the Premier now, Bushy Mape, who didn't garner a lot of support and votes, is one person who we know that the IPC, Interim Provincial Committee, and of course the Tule House have been shoving his reputation through the people's throats. And it was quite unfortunate that he didn't emerge as one person who was of course favourable when it came to the odds. But Nono Maloyi rather instead saying that he's quite confident of him now coming to the chairperson position. He says that his first priority will be to implement service delivery and to ensure that the political stability in the province comes into play to accelerate service delivery. Maybe perhaps we can speak to him and hear what he has to say.
We have no option but to get into that space immediately, ensuring that the branches of the ANC become active branches of the ANC, which has got programs as well geared towards rebuilding the ANC, renewing the ANC, and unifying the African National Congress. There are also immediate challenges that relates to issues at the government level. I've said when we were opening this conference that there are key things that we'll have to attend to as quickly as possible. Amongst others is to ensure that there is political instability in our municipalities, because our own comrades who are councillors and so on, more often than not, they are fighting amongst themselves instead of focusing on service delivery issues. We'll have to get into that space. This is not something that you don't know, that almost every month or almost every quarter there are motions of no confidence against mayors of the ANC, speakers and so on. And some of these motions are supported by councillors of the ANC without the expressed approval of the organization. So we'll have to ensure that there is some organizational discipline in caucuses of the ANC.
So what's going to happen in the next 2 weeks? Because what we saw over the weekend was former one-time Premier and ANC Chair in that province, Mahumapelo, withdrawing from the election race. Could he raise legal challenges? Is that a possibility in the next 2 weeks? What's likely to take place in this interim period?
Definitely. What we understand is that yesterday the ANC NEC deployee, Obed Papela, of course accompanied by Nomvula Mkonyane, also NEC member of the ANC, said that they will continue with the process of nominating additional members, which speaks to PEC members. From there onwards, the announcements would be made in the next 2 weeks. And they're saying that this is because the conference couldn't conclude immediately yesterday, and of course other ANC delegates had to then report for duty at their respectable workplaces, and that's what we're seeing. But coupled with that as well, we do understand that Mahumapelo has kept his cards close to his chest on record, saying that he supports the candidates. He supports Nono Maloyi, and of course has supported Bushy Mape, quite welcoming the decision that Nono is now the chairperson of the province. However, next to it, we've established a very different roadmap to this journey of the provincial conference, whereby those aligned to Mahumapelo are the very same applicants who filed that court application which saw the interdiction of the IPC not being eligible to participate and vote as being part of the voters' delegates in the conference as well. But also them also having threatened yesterday that they will be filing applications to try and nullify the provincial conference in its entirety. We are still waiting to see what will happen. I'd gotten off the phone with them just about 3 hours ago when they're saying that they were quite in intense discussions to see whether they should proceed to serve the ANC with the papers and therefore go to the court or not. But we're still waiting for those answers to see what may happen next. But the mood on the ground was quite somber by those who are coming from Mahumapelo's faction, who were saying that they were unhappy in the manner in which the process of the adaptation of credentials was being dealt with. And of course, that issue of some of the credentials which were allegedly cloned by some of the ANC members who were participating in this conference. So those are just some of the challenges that we saw and heard from the ground while covering the provincial conference in the Northwest.
Yeah, it's not over till it's over, is it? I think there's more to come. Thank you very much. eNCA reporter Pule Letshwiti-Jones in Rustenburg in the Northwest Province. And now